embarrass you. They want to intimidate you. They want to instill fear. And so that's why they did it that way.
Georgia Fort also speaking out last night. She says her arrest early Friday morning was traumatizing for her family, with her kids now afraid to be alone. Here's what she told our Rachel Maddow.
I really want American people to understand attacking the press is not simply just attacking journalists. It's attacking the public's right to know.
Meanwhile, Attorney General Pam Bondi has doubled down on her decision to bring charges.
So anyone with a camera then would be allowed, under his theory, to come in and attack a church like that and riot a church on a Sunday morning or on a Saturday if it's a synagogue. You can't do that in this country. It's illegal. We're going to prosecute you, and you will be held accountable. Doesn't matter if you're a failed journalist with a camera in your hand. You can't do it.
Joining us now is a former colleague of mine and Don Lemon's, former CNN chief White House correspondent and anchor Jim Acosta, who also frequently tangled with the Trump White House, going back to his first administration. Jim, it's good to see you. We just heard Don and Georgia say, that this was about embarrassing them, instilling fear and attacking the public's right to know. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we just have to say to the Attorney General, I mean, there were lots of journalists covering the rioters at the Capitol on January 6th. We weren't arresting journalists at that point. I mean, if you go back on, and it's great to see you, if you go back and look at the video of what Don did, he was there covering what was taking place inside that church. And he's clearly on camera saying, I'm a journalist, I'm covering the protesters, I'm not with the protesters. I mean, that's Don doing his job. I mean, just the other day, I was over at the Kennedy Center when Donald Trump put his name on the Kennedy Center. I wasn't charged with vandalism. I was there covering what Donald Trump was doing to the Kennedy Center. But Don is right. This is meant to intimidate journalists. I think it's also intended to go after independent media. Trump, as I like to put it on my show, has cracked the code on how to hurt the corporate media in this country. And I think he's trying to do the same to independent journalists and send the message that you have to watch what you say.
Are you afraid? You're an independent journalist now.
I mean, I think we all have to be worried right now, Anna. And, here's why. Donald Trump is in a place right now where he's very spooked about the upcoming midterm elections. He just had the FBI go into an election headquarters in Fulton County. And we may have reached the arresting journalists phase of his authoritarian project. And my sense of it is that if he continues to arrest journalists, this is a serious proposal. I think the rest of the news organizations in this country, the major networks, the major newspapers, need to pull their teams out of the White House. One of the things that Donald Trump relies upon is having the press in there taking his picture and putting him on TV. It's what he likes and craves. And so I say, if he's going to continue to arrest journalists, take it away from him. And I just think at this point, it's going to take some kind of collective action. And I just think that, there's been so much bending the knee over the last year that it's emboldened him. And so I think what's needed at this point is just strong, determined action to send the message that we're just not going to tolerate this. And we also need to make sure that folks like Don understand that we all support him. This shouldn't be a moment where folks say, well, Don did this or that, or maybe I don't like Don, and so I'm not going to support him. No, Anna, you and I both know this. If you want to be liked, don't become a journalist. Go become a veterinarian or something like that. We're not the most likable folks, but what we do is vitally important to democracy. And it seems to me that our democracy is not going to be a good place if journalists are being jailed. And people need to understand that, as Georgia Fort was saying last night, we're all in this together.
I know you've never been afraid to, be that government watchdog, to hold power to account. You had your own very public battles with Trump. He frequently insulted you during press conferences. At one point, your White House press credentials were suspended after one heated exchange. And this was after a whole year after Trump began calling the press the enemy of the people. But does this feel different now in terms of what we're seeing in the second term? Are there any guardrails left?
I think we have the courts, and I think the courts are going to throw this out faster than my press pass case. But when they took away my press pass, Anna, during the first administration, it was not just intended to send a message to me. It was intended to send a message to the rest of the press corps that if you go after Trump, if you're too tough on him, that they may come after you next. And I think that's exactly what's happening with Don Lemon here. And we just can't back down. We can't be afraid, and we can't be intimidated by, somebody who's, on a wannabe dictator project. It seems to me this is a time to stand tough for all of us.
Jim Acosta, good to have you here. Thanks so much.
Good to see you. Thanks, Anna.
Good to see you, too. Coming up, more on President Trump's push to nationalize elections. We'll speak with the chair of Fulton County's Board of Registration and Elections about the raid on their office. Plus,